सान्द्रानन्दावबोधात्मकमनुपमितं कालदेशावदिभ्या निर्मुक्तं नित्यमुक्तं निगमशतसहस्रेण निर्भास्यमानम् अस्पष्टं दृष्टमात्रे पुनः उरुपुरुषार्थात्मकं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं तत्तावत् भाति साक्षात् गुरुपवनपुरे हन्त भाग्यं जनानाम् अग्रे पश्यामि तेजो निबिडतरकला यावली लोभनीयं पीयूषाप्लावितोऽहं तदुतरे दिव्यकैशोरवेशं तारुण्यारम्भरम्यं परमसुखरसास्वाद रोमाञ्चिताङ्गैः आवीतं नारदाद्यैः विलसदुपनिषत् सुन्दरी मण्डलैश्च
गुरुपवनपुरे हन्तभाग्यं जनानां श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम tat tulyam ramanama varamani. The very essence of Vishnu Sahasranamam is Ramanama. This Rama and Rama Gunanubhavam happens in this beautiful itihasa called as Srimad Ramayana. The very essence of Ramayana is put forth in 2 dashakams, just 2 dashakams, 20 shlokas by Narayana Bhattatri. Here he says, तातोक्त्या यातु कामो वनमनुजवधू संयुतश्चापधारः पौराणारुन्ध्यमार्गे गुहनिलयगतः त्वं जट क्षीरधारी नावासन्तीर्य गंगा अधिपदविपुनस्तं भरद्वाजमारात् नत्वा तद्वाक्यहेतोः अतिसुखमवसश्चित्रकूटे गिरीन्द्रे यातु कामः वनं तातोक्त्या, desirous of having the desire to go to the forest. Why? We discussed in the previous shloka that Kaikeyi stopped the Pattabhishekam that was to happen. That is on one side. Rama could have stayed back in Ayodhya, but Manthara had advised Kaikeyi that if Rama stays back in Ayodhya, he will have his own family, children. Even if Rama's Pattabhishekam was stopped, who is going to stop Rama's children's Pattabhishekam? So she had planned in such a way that if Rama leaves for the forest, leaving Sita back in Ayodhya, then being the Ekapatni Vrata, the one who had vowed to live only with one wife, will never marry anyone else, thereby never have children till he returns from the forest. Meanwhile, Bharata can enjoy the power by being the king as well as produce children who will be the next in line to take over the mantle, that particular power, position in Ayodhya. So, the Pattabhishekam was stopped. That is mentioned in the previous shloka where we said Kila Vihitaha Kekayadhisha Putriya. Here it is mentioned that the second boon, where 14 years, Navapanchacha Varshani, Nava Pancha, 9-5, which is 14 years, Rama had to go to the forest. Yatukamaha Vanam Tatoktya, desires of sending them to the forest. Yatukamaha Vanam Tatoktya, Tvam Chapadharaha, you armed with that bow and the quiver of arrows, Anujavadhu Sanyutaha, just not you, along with your wife and your younger brother, because Sita had insisted that she too shall accompany you to the forest. Rama tried convincing her. He said, see, in the forest there will be animals, wild animals. She replied, then what use is your bow and quiver of arrows? You fight those animals. You have to live on fruits and tubers. Yes, even I would like to live on fruits and tubers. So for every impediment that Rama had posed, Sita had agreed. And finally she got wild and she said, Kimtvamanyata Vaidehaha Pitane Mithiladibha Ramajamataram Prapya Striyam Purusha Vigraham. Then Rama said, Sita, you may accompany me to the forest. So that's it. On the other hand, Lakshmana performed Sharanagati at the feet of Sita and Rama. Sabhratuhu Charanau Gadham Nipidya Raghunandanaha Sita Muvachatishayam Raghavam Cha Mahavratam Aham Sarvam Karishyami Jagrataha Swapataschate. So Tvam Chapadharaha Anuja Vadhu Sanyutaha. Vadhu, wife, Anuja, younger brother, Sanyutaha. Along with them you went. Arudhya Pauranu Marge. Paurajana, the common citizens, Arudhya Marge. They stopped you in the middle of the path to the forest. Guha Nilaya Gataha. Now, how was Rama able to convince them? They all accompanied and they said, Rama, if you are going to the forest, we shall also accompany you. So they all rested by the banks of the river as Rama left the next morning quietly without making a single noise. Shh. He left all these Paurajanas who were fast asleep. So he was able to, dupe them that way, leaving them because he had to fulfill the promises that he had made to his father. So that way he left the Paurajanas. Arudhya Pauranamarge. Then where did he go next? He went to a small place in the forest called Shringiberapuram, where all the hunters used to live. The chief of the hunters called Guha used to live, and they also used to own ships. When I say ships, they are boats of those times, naval. So they used to own a lot of boats. So they were managing both the boats, and they were hunters. So Guha Nilaya Gataha. So Rama, along with Sita and Lakshmana, went to Shringiverapuram where Guha was there. Guha Nilaya Gataha. How did he dress up? Jata Chira Dhari. He covered himself in the forest dress, hermit dress, Valkalam, and he had jata, matted locks. Jata Chira Dhari. Santirya Gangam Nava Punaha. Santirya Gangam Nava Punaha. So after having crossed river Ganga by the boat, then Natvatam Bharadwajam, he offered his namaskarams to Bharadwaja. So he accepted the hospitality of Guha. After having crossed using his boat, he went to Prayaga Kshetram where there is Triveni Sangamam. So Natvatam Bharadwajam, he paid his obeisance, namaskarams to Bharadwaja Maharshi there. Arat Adhi Padavim. So thereby he was getting very close on his way. Avasaha Tadvakya Hetoho. Thereby he received the blessings of Atri, Anasuya, and so on and so forth. Many rishis he met. So all that will come in the future shlokas. After having received the blessings of so many people, including Bharadwaja Maharshi, he went and stayed in a place called Chitrakuta by the banks of river Mandakini. Or in some shlokas, Valmiki calls it Malyavati or Mandakini. Ati Sukham Girindre Chitrakute. He was able to live happily in those hillocks. So Ati Sukham Girindre Chitrakute Avasaha Tadvakya Hetoho Arat Adhipadavi. So they were able to reach that particular place. What happened after that? Shrutva putrarti khimnam khalu bharata mukhat swargayatam swatatam tapto datvambutasmai nidadhita bharate padukam nedinim cha atrim natva thagatva vanamati vipulam dandakam chandakayam hatva daityam viradham sugati makalayas charubho sharabhangin. So he says, Taptaha Shrutva Bharata Mukhat. So while Rama, Lakshmana and Sita stayed in a Parnakashala, in a hermitage by the banks of the river in Chitrakuta, on the other side, Bharata, who reached Ayodhya, learned of his father's demise. He thought that his father is no more. He heard this news and he rolled over the floor, cried, reprimanded his mother, went to the inner apartment of Kaushalya seeking solace, then went to Vasishtha's ashrama. He did not know what to do. He wanted to bring back Rama to Ayodhya. But Rama was not aware of Dasharatha's demise. So to bring back Rama to Ayodhya, to inform of Dasharatha's demise to Rama, they all left Ayodhya and went towards Chitrakuta. Taptaha Shrutva Bharata Mukhat. After having learned from Bharata, that is a very tormenting news. What was the tormenting news? Swatatam, Swargayatam. his own father, very father, dear father, Dasharatha, Swatatam, Swargayatam, has ascended towards Swarga after having learned this. Kalu Putrarti Khinnam, that grief struck Rama very, very hard. Rama couldn't withstand the news of his father's separation. Datva Ambutasmai. He did tarpanam to his father using the waters. So, Datva Ambutasmai. Then after that, Bharata said, fine. As a son, you have performed Jalatarpanam to our father. It is high time you return to Ayodhya. My dear brother, my dear Swami, Hey Rama, Hey Ramachandra, please return to Ayodhya. Tvam Nidaditha Bharate. So you did. That time Rama couldn't agree to this at all because he had made a promise to his father. But finally there was an argument with Bharata. Then Rama had to finally accede and then said, see, I will give you something. What did he give? Nidaditha Bharate. What did he give? Paduka Medinim Cha. This Paduka, this word is so important because Vedanta Deshika, the great Acharyavarya of the 13th century, composed 1008 shlokas on the Padukas called Paduka Sahasram. In Paduka Sahasram, he describes the greatness of Paduka. Bharadaya param namostu tasmai prathamodaharanaya bhakti bhajam yedupanyam asheshatah prithivyam pratito raghava paduka prabhavaha. Raghava Paduka Prabhavaha. The greatness of the sandals of Bhagavan Rama was proclaimed to the world by Bharata. So that Bharata was bestowed with Padukam Medinim Cha. Two things, both Padukas and Medini. The country was also to be ruled by Bharata. But Bharata refused. Of course, he took the Padukas of Rama, placed them on the Simhasanam out in the outskirts of Ayodhya called Nandigramam and ruled through Paduka Devi the entire city of Ayodhya and didn't rule it directly, didn't rule Ayodhya and the province directly. Paduka Medinimcha Atha Natva Atrim, thereby having paid his obeisance to Atri Maharshi, Gatva Ati Vipulam Vanam, after having entered the very dense and the expansive forest of Dandakam Hatva Daityam, of after having killed. Now, this Dandakavanam itself comes from one of the earlier kings of Ikshvakukulam called Danda. Since he was uncontrollable, very badly behaved, the kings of Ayodhya banished him to a region. Since this person had entered a region where others couldn't live, there was a forest region around. Because of Danda, this was called Dandakavanam. So Rama, Lakshmana and Sita entered Dandakam Hatva. After having entered Dandaka, he killed Daityam. He killed a Daitya. Who was he? Viradham Chandakayam. He killed a particular demon called as Viradha. Viradha Chandakayam Bhoho Charu Akalayaha. Thereby, he also got to witness Sugatim Sharabhangin. So, he entered the ashrama of Bharadwaja, went to the Nilaya of Guha, went to the ashramam of Atri, because Atri Anasuya are found here. So, Atri Anasuya, he went to their place, Atri Anasuya. Then Sutikshna, Sharabhanga. So he says, Charu Akalayaha, Sugatim Charu Kalayaha. Sharabhangim. So Sharabhanga Maharishi got Vimochanam and Rama was very much witness to that particular Vimochanam. Sugatim Sharabhangim. So Sharabhanga got thereby Vimochanam in front of, says this particular sloka.
Life is a learning. Every day is a learning. So why stop? We are very happy to present Ramayana Pariksha RAP 2025. This is being organized by our trust Deshika Daya. It is an online examination. All that you have to do is to read the book Ramayanam Volume 1 that I have authored and to register for the exam. It is happening on the 22nd of June 2025. Exciting prizes, and the biggest prize is reading the Ramayana and answering the questions. Age no bar, geography no bar. So why stop? Register soon. Namaskar.
कल्याणरूपाय कलौ जनानां कल्याणदात्रे करुणासुधाब्दे कंवादिदिव्यायुधसत्कराय वातालयाधीश नमो नमस्ते। नारायण 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 नारायण